Hello, this is Blind Man Walking 2, and it's time to do another video. This video is kind of related to another video I did about the usage of state IDs, and this is one regarding state ID usage at a local grocery store pharmacy. Friday, May 2nd, I went with my daughter to pick up a prescription and noticed that the pharmacy had posted that they are no longer accepting state IDs, only driver's license for the proof of identity for the purpose of purchasing suphedrine in the state I live in, which is, I think, Illinois. People know that pretty much. That you can only purchase suphedrine with identification. Well, the grocery store here decided, and with the complicity of the pharmacy, I guess, it was posted there, that they were no longer accepting state IDs, only driver's licenses. And so I went, after we picked up the prescription for my daughter, which was not suphedrine, by the way, I asked to speak to the pharmacist, and I imparted to the pharmacist how this is not legal. Because you're discriminating against a group of individuals who cannot obtain a license. And the pharmacist said, well, you know, we've had a problem with fraudulent IDs, and so we're trying to curb that. And I said, well, you know, I said, I don't have a driver's license. Well, I have an ID. Well, pharmacist said, well, we will accept your ID because we know it's a valid ID. And I said, well, how do you know that? And he got real quiet. He said, you have no idea whether my ID is valid or not, by just looking at it. I mean, and I went on to give some examples. So I come in after mowing the yard, sweaty, so forth, but my nose is clogged up and I want to get suphedrine. And I have a state ID. Are you not going to take my ID? I'm assuming that I'm somebody else that I'll talk about. He didn't say anything. I said, you know, I strongly suggest that you talk to someone else. You know, you talk to the store manager, you talk to your legal department here at the grocery store, and run this past them, because this isn't legal. I said, you cannot do this. And so I got my daughter's prescription, and we went to check out for other items in the grocery store, and I asked if the store manager was there, and I said, the store manager was there, and I thought, well, I'll just contact him Monday. Then I realized that, you know, I need to jump on this now. And so I got home, called, asked the store manager, talked to the store manager. Store manager said, yeah, I had heard somebody was here taking pictures. So evidently the pharmacist was concerned enough about this that he went to the store manager, because indeed I did take a picture of the sign that was posted at the pharmacy. And so the store manager said, well, you know, also talking down to me, in my opinion, he said, well, you know, pharmacists can get in trouble for knowingly selling something based upon you know its usage. I was like, well, you know, how is that relevant? We're not talking about that. So how are you going to know that somebody's going to walk in there and they're going to say, yeah, I'm going to get Sudafed and I'm going to make meth with it, which is a big problem around where I live. And so would you please mind selling me some? I mean, nobody's going to go in there to a pharmacy and say that. But anyway, that was what the store manager said to me. So I said, well, you know, there's a whole group of people who cannot obtain a license. And so you're saying that they can't get pseudoephedrine. So he said, well, you know, this is just something. He said, well, other chains are doing this. I said, well, if somebody if I said, I gave the example about voting rights. I said, so if one state decides that um, someone can't vote, then other states can do that too. And he said, I don't understand. I thought, okay, that's fine. This is why you're doing what you're doing. It's because you don't understand that it's discriminatory. So after this, the store manager, thanked me for my opinions and my feedback, and like the pharmacist, did not decide to make a change in the sign posting. So I went home, gave him a few days. He took my number. I said, feel free to contact me, but I would advise you contact your legal department first, because I'm sure they will tell you cannot post that sign. So it was the following Tuesday, and I needed to go to the grocery store. So I thought, well, you need to do something before you go to the grocery store, and you see that sign posting up there still. Because if it's up there and you haven't called anybody or done anything about it, then it now is your problem. So I called the Grocery Stores National hotline, and I explained the situation to them. The person on the phone seemed very intelligent and understanding as to why this was a problem, and said, rest assured, I will get this up the chain and to whoever needs to look at this situation. And she took my number and said that I would be hearing something. I then, after I got off the phone with the person, I felt better because I had at least tried to do something above my local level. I went to the grocery store and I saw that the posting of non-acceptance of IDs was removed. And so at least somewhere somebody had the presence of mind to think about this. While I was talking to the store manager, the pharmacist, I got the idea that it was one of those things in their mind that I can do this. It doesn't matter. I am who I am, and this is what I'm going to do. And this is an example of why each and every one of us, whether you have a disability or not, but particularly if you happen to have one, that you know the law, you know how to access assistance, and you take advantage of what's available to you. Because to sit back and wait for somebody to do something for you is not an option. I don't know if I said this before, but I will mention here, people with disabilities, I feel like, in comparison to people of color, that we're at, say, the 1964 era. We don't get the respect. Part of it is because disabled people aren't feared. The other part of it is that disabled people are not organized. And the third part is that disabled people are not assertive. By our nature, we are taught to be complacent and accepting of what other people give us. And so because of the preceding three elements, we don't get the things that we should. And when I mean we should, the things that are allowable by law that everybody else has. We have to fight for them. And so I implore each and every one of you out there who is disabled or is a friend, family member of somebody who is disabled, make sure that you're aware of your rights and their rights under the law, and that you understand how to exercise those rights. So I hope this has been an informative or at least interesting video. Oftentimes I don't feel disabled. I don't think of myself as disabled. But when I run up against a discriminatory practice, I don't have to wait too long to get reminded that I am disabled. And so in this situation, I took the Howard Beale approach from an old movie that I love called Network. And I got mad as hell, and I said I was not going to take it anymore. And so that's the last thought I will leave you with today. This is Blind Man Walking 2, saying you keep walking, and I will too. Any comments you have, love to hear them. Any thoughts that you've had in regard to this situation as well, I appreciate those. And look forward to doing another video. Thank you.